All right, everybody. It is Wednesday afternoon, July 16th. Here's a look at our Alabama weather headlines the next couple of days. Rain chances in general across the state will increase as we head towards the latter half of the week. Better rain coverage is probably going to be south, where the better setup's going to be for moisture, a little bit of forcing from that coastal low. And it's a weak low at that. Central pressure about 1,012 millibars. I mean, it's very close to standard sea level pressure. It's just not coming together. Biggest impacts from this will probably come over Louisiana, where our rain totals are probably going to be anomalous. 3, 4, 5 inches possible south of Lafayette. We'll talk about that. And we resume our summer pattern by Sunday as the remnants of this gets on out of here and shifts north and east, fizzling out. So look at the composite radar from the big picture here, and you can kind of see those convective bands here. And then center low is somewhere right between Panama City and Wright, Florida, Miramar Beach. And it's a relative broad low. If this was not something that we would talk about naming, this would not catch your attention. It's the fact that it's tropical. It's the fact that it could have a name. It personifies it. It's just not threatening. In fact, if you're down at the beach, you probably have periods of sunshine here today, along with some thunderstorms. Again, coverage isn't even that great, but we'll keep an eye on it here as we move forward. So with that, we'll go to our radar out of Montgomery, and this is Maxwell Air Force Base, and you can see those thunderstorms headed towards Greenville, just past Andalusia. This will be approaching the I-65 corridor within the hour. Time is 3 o'clock. Outside of that, it's pretty quiet across the state. Not a whole lot happening with respect to afternoon convection. Again, here's the big picture and where that invest is. Something working against this too is you have a relative high over here in the northwest Gulf, and that's creating some wind shear. You have a change in pressure over distance, and so you've got that pressure gradient that's also kind of working against this. And notice how close it is to being over. I mean, these tropical systems, isolated thunderstorms, they've got to be over water for an extended period of time with good conditions to form, and that's just not happening. So again, it's just a low, and will probably behave as such moving forward. Warm temperatures across nation's heartland, down into the southeast. See that cooler air over across southeast Alabama, and the kind of bullseye for heat, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and West Alabama so far this afternoon. Here's a look at our Alabama temperatures. About 94 in Huntsville. Birmingham's kind of underachieved the last couple of days. In fact, looking at the recent data here, we verified at 93 on Tuesday, 91 on Monday, 89 on Sunday. Point is, we keep falling below that threshold of 95. We haven't hit that yet. Not saying that we want to, but again, highs are not as intense as some of the models have forecast. Still hot. It's the summer. But just something to point out, we do have heat index values that are around 100 degrees in several spots here this afternoon as well. Let's go to our HRRR future cast. This is later this evening, and we're going to zoom this out as we play this forward. You can see where that little invest, that low, is headed. Again, hugging the Gulf Coast. And you could be under this low pressure and have sunshine. It's not an entity. It's not a being. It's just a very weak anomaly of surface low pressure, and at that, it's not even very impressive. So this is later on tonight. This will go into Thursday morning, and again, you see it starts to perhaps gain a little steam as it moves towards New Orleans as far as convection. Notice, though, how uneven the convection is. It's all balanced towards the southwest of the center, meaning you could be Mobile, Hattiesburg, Jackson, and you might not get any rain from this. It's been kind of an interesting thing to unfold. And another thing I'll point out here, you see this band of thunderstorms setting up along and south of US 80. When we have convective bands or convection in the southern half of Alabama, a lot of times that will cut off energy and moisture to the northern half of the state. So it's kind of like severing the ties to that stream of rich, unstable tropical air. And that very well could happen, and that could mean lower rain chances, not just Thursday, but also late into the week. So just something to watch there, but you can clearly see where the heaviest, most consistent rain is as this slows down. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Lafayette, that I-10 corridor in southern Louisiana. So that's probably going to be where our impacts are most greatly felt as this tropical air moves off to the north. So rain chances Thursday, they've really decreased, really decreasing. over the northern half of Alabama, down to 15 to 25%, basically along and north of I-20. So I think a lot of us stay dry again on Thursday. Friday, again, trying to bring some moisture in here. I still think Friday's our best coverage day, but I mentioned that convective banding. That sets up south of here, and we might be left without much rain here in northern Alabama. And then as we go into the beginning of the weekend, this is Saturday, and the focus of that low is over here, Louisiana, and we'll begin to see the shifting of overall rain coverage further to the west as we head into early next week. So kind of a look in a nutshell at our forecast here as it pertains to the next few days. I want to talk about our rain. This is a look at WPC 7-day rain estimates here, and you'll notice central Alabama, for the most part, average about a ½ inch, maybe up to an inch. Not very high value, again, if you take that as the average over 7 days. But then you look at this kind of anomalous, precipitation here, and it's along and south of I-10 in Louisiana, where we're probably going to have, areas that get 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, maybe higher. You never know with these tropical systems. You get these good downpours, and it can drop a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So look at the NHC. The fact that they've not upped this probability at all here over the last almost 36 hours. It doesn't look like it's coming together. From my standpoint, when I see the central pressure is not lowering, when I see that there's not organization about the low, it just makes me really doubt that this will be anything more than a rainmaker, and I think that's exactly what it's going to be. So here's a look at the spaghetti plots, and it's always good when you see a spaghetti plot that has a correlation such as this. So you're looking at a very, very solid idea that this is headed right towards the Louisiana coast. It'll bring rain, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, all the way up to Alexandria before it fizzles out as it moves north early next week. Probability of tropical depression winds, again, certainly a possibility. That European model's calling for about a 90% chance of that. And this might end up getting a name. I don't think it needs one, but it could get a name. I think sometimes when we personify these things, it makes things a little bit more scary. Now, flooding could be a concern over Louisiana, but otherwise, this is not a major impactful system. So, future view, we'll go European model. This is at 5 o'clock on Thursday. We'll go through about 6 o'clock Thursday evening. Again, you'll notice most focused rain going to be in southern Mississippi, southern Louisiana. And again, I think we'll have decent moisture about here in the southeast, but you get rain that develops between the coast and Montgomery, and that might just limit our overall rain coverage and potential here heading into the weekend. Eventually, the remnants of this get absorbed further to the north, and we go back to a very typical zonal pattern next week. West to east flow, bit of a ridge in the Gulf, and temperatures on a daily basis will be somewhere in the range of probably 90 to 94, maybe 95, 96 if you're in the southern half of Alabama. A quick check on your beach forecast here. Again, the high rip current risk, high surf, that's going to be really today, Thursday, maybe Friday. This is moving away pretty quickly. We'll see winds subside, and all in all, calmer conditions as we head towards the end of the week. So, well, that kind of covers everything here for this this Wednesday edition. Again, we'll go one more time and look at the radar here at 312. Thunderstorms, good focus of lightning here near Luverne. Yep, and this will continue to move over towards I-65. We'll see how long it holds together. Some of this might make it into our southern counties, maybe Perry, Greene, Hale, Sumter County later this afternoon. And, of course, we will be watching it closely here as we move through the day. So let's look at your forecast.